Before we hadn't talked to you since last Friday night.
Yeah.
What was your observation of that?
You know, we got just short of, we were right at 90 plays. I thought that we there were some good things, and I thought it was great that we got out. First of all, I want to thank when we got out there. Shoot, it was in spite of the weather and being cold, and 12th man was a great crowd, and we really appreciate that. For 8 o'clock at night and 40-some degrees, but it gave our guys a chance to some of the young guys a chance to compete. Without the coaches on the field, in front of a game type atmosphere. Had some guys that played well. I thought we were kind of hit and miss a little bit offensively until later on when we got some better tempo and a better feel. But there were some real positives. I thought that Daniel LeCamera was a real positive. For a guy that hadn't really done much around here. I mean, I think he missed one, and he hit the upright with it. So he's been pretty consistent. But overall, it was great work for offense and defense, and in all situations. So we got a lot of things, a lot of work done.
Moving forward, what do you take from that? What do you want to see Saturday?
Well, Saturday actually we had another red zone half live scrimmage on Tuesday. So we've had third down live segment. We've had a red zone live segment. We've had a full 2 scrimmages, another scrimmage besides the one Friday. So we've seen a lot internally with what guys can do, putting quarterbacks in positions, putting players in positions, just like you guys saw today with a 2-minute drill where it's different than just running plays. We had guys not getting out of bounds, guys that were just a little bit lackluster. So we'll focus more on situational type football in the fall. But right now I'm real pleased with our effort, and for the spring game we're going to line up and be pretty base and just run at each other, and want to see some sound gap sound defense. Want to see some tackling, and see basically some physical football, and get the guys that we know can play, get them some work early, and then some of the guys who haven't done much or that we're counting on to do more this year, they'll play the majority of the game.
How much will the quarterback situation be evaluated on? Or how much
it's always evaluated.
On Saturday, how much can you take away from it?
It won't just be evaluated on Saturday. It's been evaluated for 14 previous practices. So, those guys will take snaps with both groups. So,
a better way to ask is how much can you take from Saturday?
We took a little bit from Friday night too. So they'll play with both groups. It'll be 1s versus 1s and 2s versus 2s, and so we don't have that 2 line trying to block Day and Miles, because we'll never get the ball off. We won't run a play. So but that's a good thing, unless you're the number 2 offensive line tackles or the number 2 quarterback. So, but not to say that Quaylen Cunningham and those guys aren't doing well either. But we'll give them snaps with both, and they need the reps and the feel for the game, and just the operational procedure in itself. You saw that today in the 2-minute situation, where that's a different situation on the quarterback, and you have to be in those situations going forward to become comfortable in it, and not just calling plays, but the mechanics of clock management and moving the ball. So they need as much of that as we can get at the quarterback position.
You get the sense that there'll be more excitement in the stands and around the players than normal, since it's been so long since you guys have had a spring game?
I don't know. I thought it was a pretty good excitement last Friday. When we came out there, it was a great crowd, for Friday night, and the weather being the way it was. We'll see where we're at, with a lot of it depends on the weather. It's going to be a big weekend. We got tomorrow we got over 200 former football players back in town playing in our golf tournament, that we're hosting. So all the former Letterman football guys will be back in town. Got Parents Weekend, Ring Day, got 1 o'clock baseball versus Georgia. I don't know if you're going to ride a bicycle around here, because there's not going to be any place to park. So It's a big weekend, and hopefully the weather will hold up, and there'll be lots for our current students and our former students and parents to do this weekend.
Coach, as a whole, through 14 workouts, are you pleased where you are heading into the spring game?
You bet.
Entirety?
You bet.
Anything else?
Well, let's say for people that came to the scrimmage on Friday night, you said there's a lot of excitement there. For them to go again on Saturday, is there anything that you want to sell them on? Like, hey, it's going to be different, or maybe something that's not planned out?
It'll be a hell of a lot better weather Saturday, and it'll be at a reasonable time for everybody. Yeah, the young kids, we didn't get out of here until what, 10 o'clock the other night, 9:30. So 5 o'clock's good for the young and the old, and the weather ought to be a little bit nicer than last Friday. How's that?
All right.
And getting in Kyle Field on both sides, so it'll be a great opportunity.
Kevin, are there any guys that specifically that you could look at and say this guy has really made some significant progress this spring?
Yeah, I would say that as you look across the board in our offensive line, Eric McCoy, just because he's had to make progress because he didn't play last year, so he has done a nice job as a center. He traveled to every game, redshirted last year. He's 3'10", 315, setting protections, doing a lot of things. Smart guy. Been really impressed with him and Avery Genesee's growth. It can be frustrating coming out here for 2.5 hours every other day and dealing with Myles Garrett. That's not fun, but he's blocked him sometimes, which is an improvement of not blocking him at all like we used to, and I think he's gotten better. So those two guys I think have really done a lot up front, and defensively, you look at our safeties are really where we excel, and our defensive ends. I think our corners were solid Friday night. We still got a real battle at one corner spot with Priest Willis, who's got length and has played, and Caper Smith, who played a lot of special teams last year. Nick Harvey, even though he's not listed as a starter from last year, everybody knows Brandon started the games, but Nick Harvey split time with him, so it's not like he has not played a lot of football here, either special teams and starting the corner. So we got to get that. There's still some competition at the other corner spot, but I think our DBs have done a nice job, and that's saying a lot without Donovan Wilson out there too. So that'll be we've got to keep coming at linebacker. Getting Alaka back has been good. Claude George has made some strides. But Alaka and Sean Washington are 240 apiece right now. They can run, and they're as talented as anybody in the league. So, their development and them to keep coming in the fall will be key for us on defense.
Kevin, you talked about Speedy Knoll being consistent. Where does this license deal figure in? Or does
Well,
it figure
that's
in?
just he's had his share of hiccups. So it's a 2 steps forward, 1 step back deal with him. It just we've internally we've done some things with him from a discipline standpoint. We always have. He's still suspended for the first opening ball game. So after serving a suspension, it was a 2-game suspension. We suspended him for the bowl game. So he's got some other things he's got to get done. He's practicing, but like I said, the consistency part has been an issue, and it's something that up until that time, really, from this semester, he was moving forward, but just like in life, unfortunately, it takes one hiccup like that or miscue or wrongdoing to throw all that off. So like I said, he's got some things that he's getting done for us, and obviously he's out for the first ball game.